Here I am in Hong Kong. That's why I haven't made a video in a while. I'm overseas again. Hong Kong has me thinking it seems to be the city of tomorrow, even though the Hong Kong people I hear believe it's the city of yesterday. What fascinates me is what you see behind me here. The number of skyscrapers proliferating like mad. The technology really here is pretty cutting edge and ubiquitous, and you see those massive billboards everywhere. It's like, I don't know, kind of like you've actually stepped into the Los Angeles of Blade Runner, especially at night. I guess I should have taken one after dark, a video, but whatever. And as usual, the Asians don't seem to fear the onslaught of technology and virtual reality the way we do. They seem to have much more fondness for this sort of thing, and much fewer, I don't know, worries about where it's all going to go. I wonder if that gives them an edge, or if, as some people would say, it actually just is a means, all this virtual reality stuff is just a means of putting us all to sleep, putting us all back into the cave, into the Matrix. There were riots here just a few days ago, so I don't think it actually seems to be calming people down. The people of Hong Kong are known for being fairly outspoken when it comes to political matters, and they do seem to be willing, at least a lot of them, to stand up to the Chinese, which is kind of futile when you think about it. But as I often like to think, or I often think, that one day, probably not within my lifetime, the Chinese will be the America of the world, and it's interesting that we don't really fear them the way that we fear, say, the Russians. That's why I think that we're really not, the West really isn't as racist as you might think. But it's an interesting place. I wouldn't want to live here. Probably far too stressful, although there are nice rural places to live here in Hong Kong. But I'm used to lots of elbow room, which we have in Canada. But if you want to see tomorrow, I guess there's no better place to see it than in Hong Kong.